Good morning. 6 o'clock in the morning, to be precise. It is the 10th of September, and I want to talk about diesel heaters, and in particular, the size of diesel heater that you need for your van or that you want to get for your van, and also a scam to be aware of that I've just found out about. So, as I said, it's the 10th of September, and it's starting to get a little bit fresh. It's 13 degrees in my van at the moment. As I say, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's going to warm up during the day a bit, but it's starting to get fresh. I've got a couple of jumpers on. I've got a t-shirt, my hoodie, and a jumper on top. So, as you know, I've been talking about getting my diesel heater sorted out, and I ordered one. It was delivered a couple of days ago. When I opened it up, I ordered a 5 kilowatt diesel heater, by the way, which was my first mistake, but I'll tell you about that in a sec. But anyway, I got the diesel heater. When I opened it up, got it out of the box, looked at the side, the label on the side, and it said it was an 8 kilowatt diesel heater. Right now, an 8 kilowatt diesel heater in my van, which is a Transit, is going to be far too much, far too much. Right, I wouldn't be able to have it on for longer than about 10 minutes. Okay, so big no. I contacted the company, I ordered it on eBay. It was advertised as a 5 kilowatt diesel heater. Nowhere in the listing, I've been all the way through it, nowhere in the listing did it say that it was an 8 kilowatt diesel heater. Right, so I contacted the company. Long story short, they said send it back. Well, first of all, they offered me a 20% discount if I wanted to keep it. Well, I don't want to keep it because it's no good to me. It's too hot. So I said, no, I just want a refund. So they said, send it back. So they sent me a label. I packaged the thing up. I'd only taken the heater out and looked at the heater. So just put it back in the box, put a label on it. I've sent it back. Right, now let me get back to the reason I ordered a 5 kilowatt diesel heater. I really wanted a 2 kilowatt diesel heater, right? And the reason is because that's what I had in my small van when I started, my Citroen Dispatch. And with the 2 kilowatt diesel heater, I got that because it was a small van, but it heated my van up very quickly. Within 15-20 minutes, it was hot in my van. It was hot. Okay, now it was a smaller van than I've got now. For 15-20 minutes, it was hot, so I'd turn it off again. The problem is with diesel heater or keeping the van warm in the winter, no matter how well insulated it is, once you turn the heating off, the van obviously starts losing temperature again. The heat doesn't stay there forever, as I say, no matter how well insulated the van is. My little van was well insulated, and it was a small space. So what I found was the heater was fine. It was adequate for what I needed, but I couldn't leave it on for too long because it was just too hot. Now, I'm the type of person, especially as I've got older, I feel the cold more. All right, so I like to be warm, comfortable, but I also don't like to be hot. When I was in my house, it was a very cold house, the house that I had, and I used to have to crank the heating up to keep it warm, but it was only warm in certain places. It was warm upstairs and it was colder downstairs. But for example, if I go to my old mum's house in the winter, or some other people's houses in the winter, I find it stifling, the heat that they have in the properties. Right, they've got the heating cranked right up. Fair enough, my mum's 90, she feels the cold, she needs it cranked up. But for me, it's too hot. I don't like to be that hot. So I like a comfortable type of heat. I don't have to have it hot. I just want to be warm. I want about 18 degrees. Let's say that, about 18 degrees. I don't need it up 20, 21. I know that's only a few degrees more, but that makes a big difference. Right? So that's why I went for the 2 kilowatt heater. It was fine in my van, and I decided after a lot of thought that that's what I was going to get for my Transit van. It's a bigger van, much bigger van. But it's not a huge van. It's not like these long wheelbase Sprinters or the Transit Jumbos. They've got another 4 foot on the back or whatever it is. So I thought, no, I'm going to go for a 2 kilowatt diesel heater again. That'll be enough for my van. I'll be able to run it longer. I don't want to keep switching the heater on and off. Okay, takes most of the power on start-up diesel heaters. Once they're running, they use very, very little power. So I thought, I'm not going to go for a 5 kilowatt diesel heater because I'd seen other people doing YouTube videos and saying that they had a transit van, same as mine. They had a 5 kilowatt diesel heater, and it was so hot they can only run it for about 15 minutes, even on low, and they had to turn it off. So my gut feeling was go for a 2 kilowatt diesel heater. So went on eBay, went on Amazon, looking for a 2 kilowatt diesel heater. Well, I can't share the screenshots and everything because I don't know how to do it of eBay, showing you the listings and all that. But you'll have to trust me, or just go on there and have a look for yourself. But here's the conclusion: 2 kilowatt diesel heaters are more expensive than the 5 or 8 kilowatt diesel heaters. Don't ask me why, but they are. I think the reason is because they are not as popular. Most people buy 5 kilowatt diesel heaters. Right? So they're a little bit more expensive. You can get a 5 kilowatt diesel heater. Well, I bought one, or I thought I bought one, for 80 quid. Right? The cheapest I could find a 2 kilowatt diesel heater on eBay or Amazon for immediate delivery, and I mean a proper 2 kilowatt diesel heater, which I'll come to in a minute, was about £250, £270. But you could order them on a pre-order for £130, £125. And what that basically means is it's a company called, or the brand's called Maxing Pods or something like that. It's the same one that I had in my old van. They bring them over from China in a container. They go to a distribution warehouse, but you have to pre-order them. Okay, takes about 30 days for them to get the next shipment in. 30 days, 4-6 weeks, something like that, to get their next shipment in. And they're about £125. All right. Now, there are no diesel heaters, 2 kilowatt diesel heaters, available on eBay or Amazon at the time of this recording anyway, for immediate delivery for less than about £250. Some of them are £400, exactly the same model that I'm talking about now. Supply and demand. The prices are high because there aren't any in the country for immediate delivery. There are adverts or listings on eBay and Amazon for 2 kilowatt diesel heaters for 75, 80, 90 quid. But let me tell you, they're not 2 kilowatt diesel heaters, and I'm going to come to that in a minute. So, the update on my diesel heater is I ordered it, I've sent it back, it was the wrong one. I've now ordered exactly what I wanted in the first place. I should have gone with my gut instinct in the first place. I've ordered this 2 kilowatt diesel heater, and it's going to take about 4 to 6 weeks to get here. So it's going to be arriving mid-October. So he's pushing it, all right, but I'm just going to have to make do until then. Now, let me go on to this, what I call a scam, and I think it is a scam, about these diesel heater sizes that are advertised on the internet. So let's give you an example, first of all, of if you want to buy a 5 kilowatt diesel heater. Right? Now, there are plenty of reliable, honest sellers that are selling 5 kilowatt diesel heaters. But some of them, like the one I bought from, will advertise a 5 kilowatt diesel heater, but actually send you an 8 kilowatt diesel heater. And the reason they do that is because the 5 kilowatt diesel heaters are more sought after. They can sell more of them. So they say, oh, this is a 5 kilowatt diesel heater. And it will work at 5 kilowatts. At a certain temperature, you've got to turn it down. But the maximum temperature output, should I say, is 8 kilowatts. All right? But they say in all their literature it's 5 kilowatts. No mention of 8 kilowatts whatsoever. Now, let's say you wanted to buy a 2 kilowatt diesel heater, like I did. You'll also see adverts. You'll go in there now. And don't message me back and say, oh, Kev, look, there's loads on there. 2 kilowatt diesel heaters, 90 quid, 80 quid, whatever. I'll tell you how you can tell that they're not 2 kilowatt diesel heaters. They'll say 2 kilowatt diesel heater, 80 quid. what they'll send you is a 5 kilowatt diesel heater. And on the same premise as what I just told you about, the reason they put 2 kilowatt is because at the moment there's none in the country. They're at a premium, so they're selling them for the same price as you would get a 5 kilowatt diesel heater, but they're saying it's a 2 kilowatt diesel heater. What the truth is that it will output 2 kilowatts if you turn it right down, but it's actually a 5 kilowatt diesel heater. Now let me get on to how you can tell what diesel heater you're going to be buying. There are two main factors. The first one is the physical size of the diesel heater. A 2 kilowatt diesel heater is physically smaller than a 5 or 8 kilowatt. The 5 and 8 are exactly the same size. A 2 kilowatt heater is smaller. Let me tell you what the measurements actually are. So, a 5 or 8 kilowatt diesel heater, they're the same size, measures 39 centimetres long by 14.5 wide by 14.5 tall. That's in centimetres. A 2 kilowatt diesel heater is physically smaller, measures 34 centimetres by 11.5 centimetres by 11.5 centimetres. So there's quite a difference in the physical size. And that's the first way to tell if you're actually getting a 2 kilowatt diesel heater, if that's what you want. The second way to tell is the size of the duct, the hot air outlet duct. On a 2 kilowatt heater, it is 60 millimetres wide. It's the round circular duct where you can put a pipe on it or whatever, but where the heat comes out, 60 millimetres wide. On a 5 or 8 kilowatt diesel heater, that's 75 millimetres. Okay. So here's the point I'm making. If you want to order a 2 kilowatt diesel heater, the listing says 2 kilowatt diesel heater, scroll down and look at the dimensions that they've got on the heater. And I can guarantee you, right, that if you go on there now and you find a 2 kilowatt diesel heater for 80 quid, 90 quid, if you go down and have a look at the dimensions, it will be the size of the larger one, the 5 kilowatt. It's a scam. They're just selling it, saying it's 2 kilowatt, because there's none in the country. They want to sell them fast, but it's a scam. Trust me. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with 5 kilowatt heaters or 8 kilowatt heaters. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them at all. The point I'm trying to make is you've got to be very, very careful when you order your heater to make sure that it's from a reputable seller, either on eBay or Amazon. I found that Amazon was even worse than eBay, personally, when I was looking through and searching. Make sure you get it from a reputable seller. Don't just take the title of the advert that they're selling as gospel. Scroll down, okay, and look at the specifications of the heater. The first thing to look at, as I say, is the physical size. I've given you the sizes. If you want a 2 kilowatt heater, make sure it's the size of a 2 kilowatt heater. If it's advertised as 2 kilowatt, but it measures the same as a 5 kilowatt, it's a 5 kilowatt. As I said, there's nothing wrong with a 5 kilowatt if that's what you want, but I don't want that. I want a 2 kilowatt heater. So, I should have gone with mid. I hope that all makes sense to you. I know it might be a little bit complicated, and if you're not interested in diesel heaters, you probably won't even be watching the video now. But I just want to make this point to you: if you are ordering one, be careful. Look at all the details in the listing. Now, I should have gone with my gut instinct in the first place and ordered my 2 kilowatt heater before, even though I've got to wait 4-6 weeks. I didn't do that. I faffed around. I went for the cheaper version, the 5 kilowatt, thinking, oh, that'll do. Ended up with an 8, and then I just thought, do you know what? I'm going back to my gut feeling. I'm going back to my original decision, and I'm going to order my small diesel heater. which I've done now. I've got to wait now. It's going to be here middle of October apparently, but I know I'll be happier with it. And if I'm not, if it doesn't work because the van's bigger and I don't think it's warm enough, then I'll have to go for a 5 kilowatt. But I wanted to go with my gut feeling. That's what I've done now. So there's the update on the diesel heater. I hope this hasn't been too confusing for you, but I thought it was an important video to make for anybody that is looking to fit a diesel heater into their van. You decide what one you want. If you like your van toasty hot, if you're one of those people, by all means, get a more powerful one. But if you're like me and you just want it at a comfortable level where the temperature's not too high. Also, I've got a dog in the van as well. I've got Rupert in the van. See, I don't want the van roasting. Even when it's like, if it gets as cold as it does in England, -1, -2, as long as I can get the van up to sort of 17, 18 degrees inside, that's plenty hot enough for me. I don't need the 20, 21, 22 degrees. So it's entirely up to you. But that's why I wanted to make the video. I hope it helps. And we've got some interesting videos coming up. Lots going on in my life. Good things, which I'm going to tell you about in the coming videos. So I'll leave that one here for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.